versus Team Liquid as we enter the quarterfinals and possibly a best of 5. Morgana is going to be the first ban out here, actually from Counter Logic Gaming. Very interesting.
I mean, that is actually very interesting, especially because of Afromu's record on Morgana.
Hasn't been a quad stop lately.
No.
Not right now.
However, in the game, the Team Liquid did beat Counter Logic Gaming. So these guys have played twice this year. Team Liquid's beaten them both times. First time was in Week 1, sub-squad for both teams. Doesn't count as much. The last time was Keith on AD carry. But in that matchup, Quas was top lane Morgana and actually won the lane swap against CLG, out-farming Zion Spartan with Morgana. So that is potentially why they ended up banning that, just because they want to distance themselves from that defeat as much as possible.
Kalista taken out of this. Double lift. Hasn't played it too much, but he did have some pretty good games on it when he got that.
It's his most played and winningest AD carry in the LCS, especially when you're yourselves banning away Vi, and maybe in the tankier jungle meta, a very mobile AD carry can be a big benefit to you. It's more of a safety ban than anything else. I just wonder if we're going to see a Sejuani ban, or if CLG is going to be willing to pick it away. Oh dear.
Oh, there's the Vladimir as well. Making people pull their hair out lately. Very hard to kill, and a very safe pick as well for Counter Logic Gaming to start things off.
Vladimir has been coming back. Part of the reason is, or fortunately if you're a Vladimir player, or Vladimir himself, he likes to see LCS play, I'm sure. But mainly, when you're running more tanks, there is much less burst damage in the game. Often leads to longer fights. As far as mages go, Vladimir has some of the highest sustained damage amongst all mages and is more vulnerable to burst. Burst doesn't exist, Vladimir becomes good. They think Team Liquid's going to be running sustained fights. Vladimir's suddenly a very valuable first pick.
Absolutely. Along with that tank line being something that's on the front and no burst, maybe we'll see a vein from these AD carries throughout this. Urgot quickly locked in with the Sejuani, and Team Liquid says, we're going for the full tank.
Oh dear. Yeah, so getting Sejuani in the second rotation is very favorable for Team Liquid. They're very happy about that Sejuani pick, gives them a ton of teamfight initiation. They played Sejuani in their last 2 games, the Week 9 game against Dignitas, and then the tiebreaker game they had against Team 8. Won both of those, so they feel very comfortable on that. Plus, Urgot is a very meta pick at the moment in this league of tanks. The ability to armor shred so well while still being tanky is huge.
We can say that in this world and time. Very meta pick for Urgot. Sejuani fit and dominate quite well lately with kind of changing up his playstyle. He can get a little skirmishing in, still clear, still facilitate for the team. We see the Nautilus being locked in. Is that going to be Afro moves with a Lee Sin for Xmithie, it looks like.
99% chance that's a support Nautilus and Uncle Lee Sin.
These are quick.
Yeah, fast and furious picks right here. Oh man. So, Alistar into Nautilus to try and counteract some of the tankiness or to create a little bit of separation. Nautilus often closes very well, but if you headbutt away his AD carry, I can see that being very beneficial. They're kind of taking each other's champions in a lot of ways. Zion Spartan had such a good score on Rumble this year. Alistar is the Afromu pick that we're used to. Very curious Game 1 draft here.
5.6 as well.
Yeah, we do have to mention the 5.6 patch. So another patch to kind of adjust to the tanks and the Cinder Hulk item. Sejuani underwent light nerfs, a little bit of damage off the W, and some slow off the ultimate if you miss it.
See what happens. We did hear Skara say, we're going to try some things. That was last week with Jax and Alistar. Now Afro is going to be on the Nautilus, as well as a Twisted Fate here as Doublelift locks in Lucian.
It definitely feels like CLG is going for a very high-pressure lane team composition with some early game snowballing. Xmithie needs to have strong vision control, a lot of early ganks, and then the pressure is on Link to execute plays around the map, since this Team Liquid team is very, very sturdy.
Oh, what does Piglet decide to lock in for an AD carry? They leave it up to him to round out the composition. Everybody else feels comfortable getting what they have.
The crazy thing is, Urgot has seen play both as an AD carry and as a mid laner.
This could still be double AD comp.
So is Ezreal, for instance. They have a lot of swapping options now that they know exactly what they are going up against. Alistar Urgot is not a bad lane by any means. Alistar locks someone down for Urgot to land his E, which locks on the Q automatically. But at the same time, against a Twisted Fate, you want to have lane pressure, and they're going to go with the Graves.
The safer lock in as he hovers a few other 80 carries. Goes for the ability to fight here in this game and be tanky with his team in general. So Team Liquid, they bring out the Urgot composition with Phoenix in the middle. And Afromu for Xpecial. It's going to be his first run on the cow.
Fascinating draft. The champions being picked away from each other. CLG actually breaking out a lot of new things. Vladimir, Twisted Fate, and Support Nautilus. Definite change from the regular season. But I feel like the CLG style will remain somewhat the same, where they try and pressure heavily early and then basically put Team Liquid on tilt by never giving them the opportunity to get into the game. Zyrene was saying on the analyst desk that the early game is what Team Liquid has to win. Well, this CLG team composition tries to make the early game as favorable as possible for CLG.
That's actually almost what they need to go to. My final question to Hotshot when he was leaving the stage was, do you guys think you can bring back the consistency of what you did in the beginning? He just said yes. Confidence right off the bat. Get Afromu maybe on a little bit of roam, get those lockdowns in, and start the game off with a little bit of pressure in the mid lane.
Yeah, both coaches, respect for each other there. Scar's been getting so much praise from within the CLG organization, as has Peter. Both these teams very happy with their coaching choices. We're just going to have to see how it goes down because these comps have very different goals.
Well, now the coaches should twiddle their thumbs in the back as we're going to be checking in throughout the game to see how you guys think this quarterfinal is going to go. Keep tweeting hashtag CLG win or hashtag TL win to @LOL Esports, and we'll continue to count your votes throughout the game. You'll be able to see that live update as it comes up probably halfway through, I'd say. I don't know. We're going to be paying attention to the action because it's going to be crazy. The crowd is ready. We've got a pretty much packed house here as more people load in and get themselves situated with their popcorn and soft drinks. It's about to be Counterlogic Gaming versus Team Liquid, and we are on the Rift.
It is playoff time, Riv. All right, first off, early on in the game, CLG loves to split the map, which means a 5-man invade on either side, bullying their way through and getting lane swap scouting wards. It's very important for CLG that they know where Team Liquid will be starting the match out. It was dangerous for them to 5-man check a brush against Alistair, but Team Liquid was in a defensive formation. They only cared about seeing where CLG had gone, and that is how this level 1 has played out thus far.
Doesn't look like too much for Team Liquid. They're going to be fine, though. They keep themselves at bay. Counterlogic Gaming wants this early game. Pretty aggressive from Afromu.
That was actually really critical right there. What Team Liquid had done is put Piglet in the lane early to try and avoid the scouting wards that CLG placed in the upper parts of that bottom lane. But in case that didn't spot something, Afromu checked under the turret to see if Piglet was waiting there, and since he found them, they know the Team Liquid is set up in the bottom lane, and now CLG is prepping the lane swap.
Yep. Give Doublelift that safe lane as well. We'll see how this goes. Heady play by Afromu there. You can't rely on the wards. You just got to rely on yourself. They get that play towards the bottom lane. We'll see. 80 carries. It's been something that we focus on with CLG and Team Liquid, but that position hasn't been a big highlight for both these teams. We'll have to see if they can show up here in this quarterfinal.
Because of the delayed fashion of when they spotted out Piglet and going up for that lane swap, CLG actually missed the freeze in that top lane. They will not be able to heavily deny Quas unless they decide to go for a dive. Nautilus Lucian leaps in, preps just right for a turret dive, but it's very important to note that that lane will not be freezing, whereas this Team Liquid lane in the bottom will be freezing.
Quite hard. Zion Spartan already pushing off of that one. He's going to be a little late on the XP. He might actually even go towards middle to try and provide something, but nope. Just the wandering for him. This is going to be a rough early game for Zion.
This actually happened in Team Liquid's win over CLG back in Week 6. CLG was late to the lane swap because they read where Team Liquid was going, maybe 5 seconds too slowly, could not prep up the freeze, and Quas ended up getting a lot of farm with the turret with Morgana. Rumble, however, will be interesting to see if he gets in position with the support. You can already see this developing. Afromu, or not Afromu, I'm so used to Alistair.
Xpecial.
Alistair, Rumble, and Sej are all going up to try and catch that big minion wave without being dove, whereas CLG wants to create a 4-man dive up here. But again, it looks like CLG might be a little bit slow. They would have to catch them before they make it under the turret, because a 4-man dive against 3 people rarely works.
And it doesn't even get to the turret, but 1 minion as well. So they're here and ready, just waiting in the fog of war.
They're late. They're too late.
And they could have just put themselves in a dangerous pocket, now surrounded by the 3 members of Chronologic Gaming on the bottom side. Double lifters freely farming. You can see Link getting hit with those acid hunters, down to about 210 HP as he's chugging down the potions. He's out now. Only got the boots.
Beautifully played by Team Liquid. Knowing the lane wasn't going to freeze, getting top lane just before CLG could, prepping the ward in the side rush to know where they are, and making sure that that wave of 2 to 3 minion waves in that top lane did not go to waste.
Good movement here as well. They just don't have the vision to walk in there blindly, so they take the safe path. Xmithy trying to get a little bit out of the jungle as they didn't get the dive onto the top lane. And we see Zion and Piglet here in the bottom lane, back and forth. Doing quite well, but Piglet is down to double FCS as they push that top lane.
Yeah, it definitely appears like now that the big waves at the start of the game have met the turrets, it's becoming more standardized here. It is a support top laner duo versus a Vladimir Graves solo in the bottom lane. And now that Zion Spartan is here against Piglet, without a huge level discrepancy, he should be able to farm out decently. He'll just be a little bit vulnerable to a Sejuani gank. Piglet, of course, with the experience advantage. That's the biggest difference here. It's 2 levels for Piglet over top of Zion Spartan.
Still looking for those guys to show up here. They did not have the easiest season bringing Piglet in. Won the 2 first games of the season. Dominate said, don't go crazy. We had a pretty good week. Then they came into Cloud9 TSM as soon as Piglet got here. And things did not seem to go well after that 0-2. So people have been waiting to see if he can put up those numbers.
Totally up and down season for Team Liquid. Which one would show up? Well, Phoenix, he's getting ganked.
Could be CLG showing up here for first blood. 5.5 minutes in. Don't think the damage is going to be there just yet without 6s on the board.
Good thing he had the cleanse right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to burn his flash. One thing I have to note about these mid laners as well is I was looking at wards killed, actually. Link has the most wards killed as a mid laner. Phoenix has the least. That makes it very difficult for your jungler to gank your lane if you're never able to clear the wards. CLG as a team actually clears more wards than any other team in the North American LCS. One of the big ways they can snowball the early game is by denying the enemy team vision. We have to track that, especially as Phoenix is down a Summoner spell.
Well, it doesn't look like they've been able to put any more forward wards in just yet. But without having NA on their side, it also means they're getting the clears in that they need. So keeping that stat up nice and well. Link full mana here as well as Phoenix in the mid lane, so we may get it back and forth. They're just about 90% to that level 6. We'll see if Link also decides to push the lane and try to roam to the outside here and get some pressure on the sideways.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe some
Return
aggression.
gank, no cleanse this time.
Oh, there's the flash. That could be another rinse and repeat for them, however. Still waiting for the 6 onto Phoenix, and it's not going to help him too much in this situation. How far is he going to go with that gate? Dominates just on the other side of level 4. Along with Xmithy, and they're not providing too much. Piglet on the roam for himself as he's got a nice push on the bottom turret.
That was really smart by Link. He popped his Destiny on Twisted Fate to see if there was a gank coming when they committed. That Destiny saw Piglet roaming up the river. So if Link and Xmithy would have continued that push onto Phoenix when he was getting aggressive, it would have been a trap, and they both probably would have died. But because he used his ultimate, they end up not falling for the counter gank.
Got to keep it strong. They're definitely outwarded in the mid lane right now, that's for sure. Making sure they can stay safe with that ultimate of Link, just hitting 6 in time. Junglers have backed. Oh no, another to the mid lane. Rinse and repeat, they will. The resistances from the hyperkinetic position reverser could actually give him enough of what he needs, and he gets first blood before he goes down valiantly.
Link locked a red card that he needed to stun Phoenix with during the killing blow, and that was his demise. Urgot is a beast in that mid lane if he locks onto you, and that happened multiple times despite the camping from Xmithy.
A lot of pressure in the top lane as well. Whoa. This could be damage onto the turret. Alphamu can't really fight on this one. He's going to be chugging some potions down as he just sits idly by and watches the wave get pushed.
Something about that mid lane fight, though, is there was no assist gold that goes over to Team Liquid, so CLG actually got more money out of that overall exchange. Despite the investment that xMithy puts in, it's not all bad. And the gold lead still shows for CLG by about 500.
We'll see what happens with Phoenix now. He's got a little bit of damage, and there's no armor yet on Link, so that lane could be punishing. But here, towards the top side, along with a possible gank in the mid lane that is seen by CLG, they know they can go hard here with Sej down there, but they cannot get the close onto Piglet and Xpecial when they had the chance.
So what was very interesting about this now, if we're checking in the CS around 9 minutes here, Doublelift is 15 up on Piglet, and Zion Spartan is actually ahead of Quas. That was with Quas being able to absorb that giant minion wave that hit the turret. Mainly because Rumble Alistar is not a good duo lane. They were getting out farmed there, and then because Zion Spartan is a range champion against Graves in the bottom lane, he was at least able to farm, which gives CLG the overall advantage between top and AD carry CS.
Zion Spartan managing to do it again, even though we saw him kind of just running around the jungle in the first portion of level 1, level 2. Gets himself back to lane. We saw him putting good pressure onto Piglet. Now puts himself up 9.5 minutes into this one. The gold's still very, very close. And a lot of attention, since the lanes are pretty much matched up here, is going to be on the mid lane still. Dominate back to the mid lane. I don't think xMithy's going to be there just in time for this.
They know Link has no flash. So all they would need to do is temporarily lock Link down in order to land their combo. In a 2v2, it becomes much closer. No one really knows that the junglers were there. But they just ended up kind of guessing that nothing was happening. Both teams would have had to commit really hard for a gank. And because they didn't have vision of the respective sides, they decided against it. xPecial, though, oh, he's got to run. He's in big trouble.
He's unbreakable. He's good. Maybe not. Maybe not from an anchor. Kyle gets locked up one more time. The connection doesn't look like Sonic Wave actually hit for the resonating strike, so they back off on that. xPecial, however, has to build the ultimate. There's a lot of people here from CLG mid. Got to expect they're going to try to get something out of this.
All about that turret pressure. Urgot does not have good wave clear, and they burned the ultimate on the support. A lot of map pressure in this game. Even that, just pushing them away gives more time for CLG to hit that turret.
Every second counts here, and it looks like a mid turret's going to be dead without really anybody going down. xPecial doing what he can. Goes in dangerously with that ult down and flash as well. But still gets out alive and saves the turret for his team. Team Liquid's able to kind of organize again. Piglet doesn't have to come all the way down. He doesn't have much to push in the top lane. Good movement by CLG.
Yeah.
The Destiny goes down. Quas tries to lay out the welcome mat, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Wait, xMithy's here too! And they're going to be able to pick that one up. Well organized by Counterlogic Gaming.
Something CLG does very well is not letting their map pressure dissipate. So at that point, they took the pressure from the mid lane. That gave them a window bot lane. And eventually, they cracked open Team Liquid's egg right there, and Quas fell. It's pretty close Twitter vote, though.
50-50.
50-50.
I like it.
Team Liquid trying to counter, knowing 3 people from CLG were just bottom lane. Not too many people could be under this turret.
Waiting for the Sej. Oh, very nicely done. Let's Doublelift use his escape.
Whoa.
Then they lock it down. The depth charge is just for the escape here. Phoenix is going to come around. Can he get in range for the ultimate? The flash is there, but they might use it here onto Link. There it is. He gets the flash lockdown position reverser. They're going to eat up Link. It's more, though. xMithy, Zion, and Afromu are here. Afromu is out of mana. He can only swing the anchor, but he's still able to pick up a kill onto xPecial. Piglet and Phoenix now trying to figure out what they can do in the fight, and it looks like they're about to split ways here, and run is what they will do. Looks like that blue buff may be going over to Zion Spartan. Piglet actually brings himself back into the fight. That's going to be Phoenix going down.
No.
Piglet had the chance to run, and he's used the flash over the wall now. He thought he could, and then he said no more.
Teleport in from Zion Spartan, with Quas having already used his teleport in the bot lane, created an outnumbered fight for Team Liquid. They still tried to take it because they had already committed on the turret dive, and it ends up costing them some deaths. Honestly, though, a pretty close trade across the board. Now it's just all about the turret take.
Yeah. The members that stand are the ones that count, and Zion and Doublelift make a move for the mid lane. Big open up there. CLG can now start to get those wards deeper and deeper into the jungle. We'll see if this can be stopped here by Team Liquid. We've seen CLG have a lead, and in the jungle is where they lost those fights of having that lead. This could be dangerous for them. Right now, still a little bit of lanes for them to work as Link pushing the bottom lane here. He can get a bit of a split push on.
And I think the biggest danger to Team Liquid is Zion Spartan's Vladimir. We'll see why in this fight. Team Liquid doesn't really have an answer to Vladimir within their team composition. At the start of this, the CC chaining was awesome right there. Headbutting into the wall to land, the ultimate to land, the pulverized double couldn't even use his flash. But Zion Spartan is a really big force here, and like I said, Team Liquid doesn't really have the damage to take him down. We don't have time for replays right now. Team Liquid getting invaded.
Looks like Zion's going to be heading to the top lane for this as Aframu and the rest of the team go for a bit of blue pressure. I don't believe they were able to get too much on that. But even in that play, clearing out the minions so the turret couldn't be used by Liquid as well on that. Just very smart plays as he came in. He's getting really big, 2-0-1, 83 CS.
For all of Team Liquid's versatility in champion select, one of their weaknesses this year has been dealing with surprises. Vladimir top lane, while it's coming in some regions mainly as a mid laner, it doesn't really seem like Team Liquid was fully prepared for that in the way they're playing right now. They allowed Vladimir a 1v1 lane against Graves, which has not shut him down any CS.
Right.
And within their team comp, they don't have the best ways of stopping him. Yeah, you can swap a Vladimir in, and he'll ult your team and turn into a pool of blood. Yeah. That is what Vladimir will do once you Urgot ult him in. It may be the thing that carries CLG to victory here, would be Zion Spartan's Vladimir.
Well, versatility is definitely something a team can do and promote. We see Quas with many different champions in the top lane, but facing it is always a different story here. Teams usually crumble against that. Right now, looks like the Twisted Fate, Vlad, and Nautilus composition that CLG has brought out here to be aggressive in the early game starting to pay off here, and they're carrying it. Now the outer turrets fall for Team Liquid. About a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
Let's see where the rest of the team decides to go
It's superior map pressure, and a lot of that is created by xMithy's Lee Sin. There's been so much talk about why tanks weren't in the game, even before Cinderhulk. And it was, they have really poor early game pressure. The fighter junglers are just straight up better. Then when Cinderhulk turns on at level 6, it became very big. You wonder if that still matters, but I'll get to that later. Quas ganked again.
Wow, deja vu on this play right here. Quas again using the ult in defense, and that time it's gonna work. A little too long on the carpet for xMithy there. He gets burned down. They should be able to finalize this if Phoenix can't get enough damage in. Dominate's gonna get one last transfusion from Zion Spartan. There's the assist as well.
Man.
Still for xMithy. Acid Hunter comes out, kills him, and it looks like the turn goes. Hyperkinetic position reversers on. Special flash, headbutt, pulverize over the wall, locking up Zion Spartan, and they start to get a few kills back as CLG a little too far forward.
3 for 2 right there by Team Liquid. Incredibly important to turn around CLG's early pressure, because a lot of what we talked about was CLG wanting to snowball this early game. Looking at this from the start, Quas does get an okay equalizer down, and because they sedge ulted xMithy, he's not able to escape. But it's mainly about the rotation from the mid lane, the Urgot coming down.
Hello.
It's a fight.
Hello. He says draw. Doublelift pulls out both guns on that one. Piglet from the other side.
No fair.
So no fair. Oh, Aframu comes in. He finalizes that one. Quas just used the ultimate. He looks to take down the Nautilus. Aframu falls. Quas tries to pursue, but he overheats just a little bit. What a back and forth bloodbath we have right now.
It's so fast. The pace of this match is so accelerated from a normal North American LCS game. 15 kills 16 minutes into the game right now. It's because CLG is putting on so much map pressure right now. Yeah. And Team Liquid is actually responding to it fairly well. Whether it be with teleports in from Quas or Phoenix as an Urgot who can't wave clear very well, actually out-farming Link and with 3 kills on Urgot.
Well, here we go. How do they tend to the split push now? Zion Spartan's going to be in the top lane. He's going to start being a menace. The Will of the Ancients is finished. Also on cooldown, so he's spitting out spells all the time. His pressure's added there, and we'll have to see how Team Liquid can coordinate as they're spread out thin across the map. Right now, they take down the bottom turret. The rest of the team is just kind of holding a wall of defense here in the river, so the team can be safe.
Link, no vision. No vision at all.
They're getting what they need. Not playing too antsy, slowly getting the picks, and Link's going to be the second one in that. Nice
that can't happen. For CLG, they have a double Sightstone team and a Twisted Fate with Destiny and the ability to scout dangerous brushes. No wards in the area, and then Link just walks in with no vision control. Big mistake, and it's going to cost him here. Team Liquid pushing mid lane. as 4, no teleport up, so it could be a 4v4 if CLG looks to defend.
Looks like they assessed that situation quite well. And they are going to have to back off onto this one. Nicely played. Looks like Smithy is not going to be able to get any type of engagement in here, but Counter Logic Gaming is ready for the fight. Link, ultimate is up as he comes out of base here.
So CLG, I keep saying, was looking for a lot of early pressure with the Lee Sin. What's interesting about their team composition is a late game Twisted Fate and late game Vladimir are really, really strong team fighters. So we're going to, I think, go through a couple power dips in this game. CLG, around 20 minutes, stronger. When Team Liquid completes some of their core items, like Locket onto the Sejuani, but more importantly, Black Cleaver and Last Whisper onto Urgot, and probably a Leandries onto Quas, then Team Liquid will take over for a little bit. But if it goes like 40 to 50 minutes late, and Zion Spartan is sitting at 6 items and so is Link, and Link's at a point where teleporting onto an AD carry means a one-shot, it actually goes back to CLG again. And Team Liquid's withstood this first barrage by CLG pretty well. So unless they get caught out of position by a Twisted Fate or Lee Sin, which is a real possibility, in about 5 to 10 minutes, I feel like Team Liquid has a real opportunity to fight back to this pressure.
It's definitely going to take some heavy-duty wave management if they want to get anything after these fights. I've been saying they don't have too much push power. Let's see what they can do. Having a Vladimir top lane is usually going to keep Quas to that position, and he is something you want, an equalizer in that fight for sure. Infinity Edge finished up here for Piglet. He is still 20 CS behind, but those 2 kills gave him a little bit of boost in power, so it'd be nice if TL could get a fight with him right now, somewhere on the back line. Not too much armor just yet for the team, except for Smithy looking for that Randuin's. They head towards the mid lane to get this pushed out. They've already taken that down, but this is good for CLG. Zion Spartan's already put a few forward wards in. We saw one die, but they still got another one right by the base gate.
And it's that accumulated map pressure from CLG. Having 3 outer turrets down gives them an opportunity to get deep wards, and specifically because they have Twisted Fate on their team, it makes it really difficult for Team Liquid to farm. So the danger of Team Liquid getting caught is very high as long as Link executes and CLG can place some deep wards into Team Liquid's jungle. It's an incredibly dangerous moment here for Team Liquid. They need to make it out of these 5 or 10 minutes and get the strength to start group pushing, or even just have someone who can deal with that split pushing Zion Spartan, because that doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon.
Looks like they have that option to group here for Dragon. Both AD carries with the Infinity Edges out, and a little bit of critical on the edge of that, so they can get more damage. 33,000 to 30.7 right now. Both teams very, very similar.
CLG's just going to push lanes while Team Liquid is going for that Dragon. I don't know if Team Liquid could stay on here because they're in tons of positions, and getting Quas to burn his ultimate on the minion wave speaks to the mismatch that's happening in that top lane. That means CLG can contest this Dragon knowing there's no Rumble ult. But can they get there in time?
If they can get there, it's not going to happen. They actually spread out on that one. Nicely played by Team Liquid. Not huge for them to get Dragon 1, but it definitely helps. Gate goes out. He gets Krugs.
I'd say that's a late Twisted Fate ultimate. They didn't have ward control in the area, but they had a Twisted Fate that could show them. And I think they could have planned a collapse, knowing that the Rumble ultimate was down. But instead, Team Liquid picks up a Dragon and is not punished for Quas having to burn his Rumble ultimate.
Team Liquid still making calls. Pays off for him on that one. We see that Phoenix is just about 20 CS ahead of his mid laner. Zion Spartan 10 CS ahead of Quas in that top lane. Overall, quite a very close game out of that laning phase with the amount of pressure we saw in the mid lane and the swaps back and forth from top and bottom. Both teams really organizing themselves quite well. It's now towards this mid-game power spike. Both teams pretty much evening out now at that point. Team Liquid starting to get a little bit of their items. Abyssal Scepter coming out for Quas now.
Very important. More cooldown reduction onto Phoenix.
Yep. Mirror mana just finished.
That's huge as well. Means when he gets one lockdown, not only will he be doing more damage with the Mirror mana, but he gets an extra Q out because of that cooldown reduction.
Right.
It's
good spike here for Team Liquid. Now, who makes the decision? We see a Righteous Glory trying to be built by Xpecial. See them. There's that item every game. It's his new favorite item. He likes it. A BF sword for Piglet as well. Sold that. Oh, over to the Ghost.
Got to match him. Straight up match against Doublelift, even though he doesn't know what he's bought. It did seem like they are the same person in that Piglet Doublelift feature. And they are building the same items. So congratulations. Oftentimes, Graves and Lucian are also compared as champions, as Graves and worse Graves. They definitely have some differentiation in the champion kit.
It's true.
Lucian is more mobile, Graves is more upfront damage, but incredibly similar champions outside of that.
I like it. One day you can do a Freaky Friday with him, and he'll switch the kits.
Yeah.
I wonder if people will notice. Let's see what Piglet can do coming off of that red buff, or rather blue buff. He's placed a Vision Ward. The team's starting to gather in the mid lane here. Link to the bottom. Again, the split push. The 1-3-1 here from Counterlogic Gaming to be set up against Team Liquid. Their reaction is pretty much what's going to get them back in this game. CLG is staying just out of range of this Glacial.
Real tricky. CLG has good wave clear with the Twisted Fate, and they're committing to this Zion Spartan split push. A 1-3-1 actually with Twisted Fate as well. It doesn't really seem like Team Liquid has many answers for this unless they tried an incredibly hard engage under a turret. But because of the teleport in the top lane and the Twisted Fate, CLG could match that fairly well. Looks like CLG is trading turrets.
Yeah, not too worried about that. Ooh. No, sir. You will not.
Yeah, but now it's teleport down. And no one to deal with Zion Spartan. We'll see how CLG uses that teleport disadvantage right now to see if they can continue that map pressure and get more of a turret lead.
And where does Link go? Just enough distance for Quas to walk all the way back to mid lane, so Link can have the bottom turret to himself. Nicely done. The team as well sets up a human wall inside the jungle, and Counterlogic have just squeezed themselves in the jungle of Team Liquid, getting everything they want now.
Yeah, CLG's playing this right. They know that as a team they're not the greatest at team fighting, and this team composition is not the greatest at team fighting against a Sejuani Rumble. So what do? They split push. 1-3-1. Zion Spartan has tons of experience in split pushing. Link on Twisted Fate is the perfect champion to do the split pushing with. And Lee Sin with a Sightstone is the perfect champion to peel and set up wards in the enemy jungle to enable split pushing. That's their game plan.
Not looking at too much trouble until they get to the base. Freely moving around the map, but not clearing out too many wards that Team Liquid has got placed on that forward top side of the map. Everything right now is happening on the bottom, but they are making sure Baron won't be a problem. We're 25 minutes in here, and Team Liquid's done a good job at keeping that gold lead to about 3,000 to 2,000 in favor of CLG. Yeah. They're looking to creep back in, though. Because
we've reached that point in the game where Team Liquid would win in the 5v5 team. CLG is not going to give it to them, is the plan. It makes it a very frustrating match for Team Liquid to play, and they have to make very quick decisions. That's the main thing the split pushing does, is it forces you into fast decision making. Team Liquid as well with Piglet doesn't appear to have the crispest decision making.
Right.
I really wonder what it's like for that team right now being split pushed, because there is a feeling of hopelessness that comes when you're getting 1-3-1 like this and unable to find a fight.
CLG realized it too, as you were saying. They need to kite the fight now, and they transitioned really well into this. Team Liquid's just been kind of wanting to run at them. CLG walks away. Link again in the bottom lane, been doing a lot better on champions where he can kind of just solo people, outskill people. His Ezreal was so much better than a lot of people, or a lot of other champions he played, as well as his Lissandra. Things like that he excels on when he can take somebody out in 1v1. And the wards begin to be placed once again here. Team Liquid trying to stay power in numbers, but definitely still in this game. They just cannot afford to be picked off. They have a lot of crowd control to these fights, but not a whole lot of damage.
Well, Dragon number 2 is actually not super important, but as far as teams actually trying to close it on win conditions, it's all about getting to 5 Dragons here before all of Team Liquid's turrets go down. Plus, it's the only way that they hope that CLG would take a team fight. And you can see right here, CLG is not taking that risk. They say, Team Liquid, you are stronger in team fights right now. Our gold lead means nothing. Have at it. CLG goes for lane pressure.
They don't get a whole lot.
Yeah, it was not the greatest timing. Team Liquid, they just need to find that window where they can create a fight.
Hello.
Dominate was looking for it. You can see it. They know that they're on a timer here before that split push continues to break away their base. It's very stressful to be split pushed like this.
It's going to be very stressful as well if you go to throw all your ultimates out and they're either Zanya's or pooled or somebody just flashes it. it's going to be a tough fight for Team Liquid to choose a priority target with the amount of defense and the way that CLG is mitigating with their items.
Team Liquid really needs to complete multiple Righteous Glories before they can create the right kind of team fights. They need one on Dominate, and they need one on X Special.
Yeah.
You can see X Special is working on it right now. I Will Dominate went for a Locket.
There it is.
For better team fighting. That's kind of what they need to start these fights.
A way to keep going in. Unfortunately, Graves does not give you a Sivir boost. You can yell real gritty-like. Get y'all excited. It won't help too much. Frozen Heart now coming out for Phoenix. He'll be able to give Doublelift a little bit more hell. Zion Spartan's getting now pushed off from Quas. That Leandri's doing work now against Vladimir along with that Abyssal Scepter. So that could be a little bit harder for him to keep that split push as strong as he wants it. Link, however, is getting all the free time that he wants with this turret in the bottom lane. He's got a wave right behind him, and Doublelift an Afro.
What is CLG's
their
plan?
answer?
Yeah, I think they're going to try. They might try and kill Quas under his turret and then go for it.
If they fail this, they're going to get pushed hard in mid, but looks like mid's already backing. The gate goes out. They're going hard on Quas in the base. Piglet staying alive. Piglet going hard on this one. Smithy to hit one more Q. That could be the thing here. And Zion Spartan comes out of Zanya's with enough range for transfusion and Tides of Blood. This could spell bad things now for the bottom lane. Doublelift takes the harpoon, almost goes down.
Whoa!
He will get hit up. Link now tries to get himself deeper into the fight, and he's dead.
2 dives happening at once. CLG gets one of them to work, but the other one goes disastrously wrong. However, looking at the turrets taken, CLG gets 2 more. So the road towards breaking the Team Liquid base is getting closer and closer to completion.
That was one of those high-risk, high-reward
Team
fights.
Liquid going for Baron. That could be a great catch.
Hello, Smithy. He's going to get popped here. Quas is already onto the Baron, and that's 3 members down. Doublelift for 8 seconds. He's not making it here in time. Zion Spartan has a lot of AoE, but it's not level 16. He doesn't have ult. I don't think he has enough to clear this pit.
Well, Team Liquid doesn't kill this very fast without their AD carry either.
Piglets in base.
I really wonder if they're going to try and contest it. It's a really dangerous
Here's Afro.
They're thinking about it, though.
Just gets out, quick tidal wave, get it out. Not going to do much, though. They may not do much damage, but they sure have a lot of beef. They don't take too much either from Baron. Team Liquid walks out of the Baron pit pretty much unscathed, but they do have to protect this now.
This was the dive onto Quas. He sees it coming, goes so far back, and honestly, CLG splits focus there. Half the team wanted to kill the turret, the other half wanted to kill Zion Spartans, or sorry, Quas. Steal each other's champions so often. But yeah, Doublelift sticks around, finishes off the turret, but that ends up costing him his life, and ultimately, the Team Baron. If Doublelift lived there, was able to recall, X Special was behind them anyway. I guess they were all dead. Smart turret take by Doublelift at the end of the day, but a poor dive by CLG. I love watching teams in playoff games as well because you get to see how the pressure affects the players, and you can see that both these teams are actually under a huge amount of pressure. Like, these are really tough decisions they're making, and CLG, they made a mistake there. Split communication. We see it all the time from Team Liquid as well. And now in a close game like this, none of that matters. What matters is who ends up performing better in the next 10 minutes of this game. Team Liquid with Baron buff means their Righteous Glory initiation, if it actually gets a kill, wins the game. So how risky is CLG willing to be in these incredibly stressful times when the entire Team Liquid team minus Quas is pushing up the mid lane?
Well, CLG fans hoping they don't repeat history with that. It's the same thing that was a crutch against their team solo mid game. We saw a little bit of a folly just now at the bottom inhibitor turret. So kind of keeping their composure as they defend mid. They don't go too crazy. They don't try to get the best of Team Liquid as they push down. Quas in the top lane does not have teleport. Not sure if CLG is aware. It should be a window they have in their mind. Quicksilver sashes are now out for the AD carry, so priority targets still getting harder for each team to choose in these fights. CLG now feels comfortable to walk outside the base, but they are staring right at Team Liquid. Team Liquid knows as well. Too many wards on the map, and they're not going to get a fight out there.
It's true, and I mean, the team fighting from Team Liquid is much stronger, not only from the team composition.
Yeah, it's respected right now.
But from the experience as well. The way CLG has been playing this game 1-3-1 with Vladimir and Twisted Fate is starving Doublelift of experience. Doublelift is always in the middle of the map with 2 other people, whereas Piglet is countering the split push. That's a level 17 Graves versus level 14 Lucian.
Yep, that's the ultimate there.
Just the base health, the base AD from that difference is huge. And there's a catch.
Hello! Headbutt pulverize Onyx Smithy and Zion Spartan. Is it the fight? Double is close. He is fighting from wolves right now. The culling is going to pretty much miss 99%, but he's still hitting the autos. Still on the back equalizer, and that was a huge equalizer from Quas. He's finally in the fight. A headbutt pulverize follow-up from Xpecial as he does it again, and they have wiped out Counter Logic Gaming. I said the fights in the jungle would be scary, and it's a nightmare for CLG.
It took 33 minutes, but Team Liquid found a 5v5, and that is what CLG wanted to avoid. But the catch from Xpecial, most importantly, the pressure of having the Baron buff sucked CLG into the base, and they lost their lane pressure, which created that opportunity. 4 people are dead. Team Liquid looking to take an inhibitor.
Team Liquid has been stalking their prey this entire game.
Oh, Link caught!
Oh, he gets cooked! The end of the grill is hot enough. He goes down. And Team Liquid were just, as I was saying, hunting their prey in the middle, hunting, and then they found the fight they wanted. Counter Logic Gaming, they've got to be a little stunned at the moment, but they're still trying to fight back.
The righteous glory from Xpecial Alistair created that opportunity. CLG trying to get something back, though. No Rylai's onto Vladimir, though. There's nothing he can do here.
I think we just wanted to see that in general if he had his ultimate.
Piglet.
Piglet's
for him.
Very, very big right now. Piglet should be able to live this situation. The transfusion's not going to happen. A perfect headbutt from Xpecial there to make sure he could not get another heal and kill off on Piglet.
I wonder if CLG has lost their window here of split pushing. They almost cracked the base down. We need to take a look at this again. Pops the Righteous Glory. Headbutt pulverize on it too. Even though he's kicked back, he doesn't stop the ultimates from coming down. Doublelift doesn't have a target to hit in this fight. He's hitting Phoenix, who's tanky. He's culling into I Will Dominate, who is tanky. Link is on the outside of the fight. Yeah. What Link needs to do in ideal fights is teleport next to the AD carry and kill him. Ooh. He had no opportunity to do that, as well as the equalizer cutting down the entire CLG team. That was as close to an ideal team fight as you could get for Team Liquid, even when they started it without their AD carry.
It's got to feel good for Piglet to be able to just collateral damage the back line. Crisscrossing the ultimate with the equalizer. Very, very close for Smithy to get out of this one. But being the escape magician he is, just safeguards out. So Quas still on the wave clear duty. He's pretty much the quickest one on the team right now besides Piglet, who's needed for the fight. So he's off to the side lanes right now. And Liquid knows they have the lead now. Get a $4,000 advantage, 5K. Advantage here, 18 to 10.
Huge swing.
CLG was up.
CLG was up almost 3,000.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that early pressure and how Team Liquid would have a window where they could jump on top of CLG, and unless Link and Zion Spartan got really fed, that wasn't going to come back. Link needs a Lich Bane and a Void Staff before he can actually kill Piglet in one shot. He is so far away from taking a real late game TF threat, and CLG is corralled again. There is no split push threat, meaning they would lose without a split push threat.
They already cannot start to take care of that top lane. It is just pushing in towards the Nexus turrets, whether it's going to drop one right now or not. Probably not. They have a little time to fight, but
Team Liquid would love to dive here, actually, if they can get any catch, and they get double
They would love to dive, Jet, and they do get the AD carry, the highest priority target that you want. Doublelift goes down, the equalizer starts to cook 3 members as Zion Spartan is just trying to deter Liquid from getting any closer to the turret. It's only going to last a few seconds here. Piglet, he quick draws forward, but he knows it's going a little too far. They hold off on that. It looks like mid is going to be the next objective.
What timing there by Xpecial. Some say he is a robot created to destroy CLG. Well, he is doing that this game, catching out and making the fights on Alistair. That fight probably decides the game. That's 2 inhibitors down, and Team Liquid, they need to back away, but boy, they have taken control of this game.
Hey, just gonna play my first cow game. Coming real strong. 1-3-11 right now. Frozen Heart for him. Righteous Glory as well. A mad cow indeed, coming from Xpecial, the all-star support.
So first off, CLG shouldn't have been there. The opportunity was created by CLG's poor positioning. When they're corralled, they know they can't team fight. Instant flash to headbutt pulverize.
Into the wall. I like the fact that he didn't try to Q right away.
Into the suppression from Phoenix.
Yeah.
Doublelift was dead before he could move. Then the pylon was easy for them. Even though Zion Spartan is in the middle of the team, there is no backup damage from the Lucian. Easy fight there for Team Liquid.
If only you could QSS knockups. Righto, please.
You can't.
Nope, can't happen. It looks like Smithy has also gone in the market for a QSS. A little too much crowd control on the map right now for Team Liquid.
Yeah, Lee Sin building a QSS is admitting defeat, almost. Like, he doesn't have sustained damage. You don't care about being QSS.
Right.
He should build a Locket or something to deal with magic damage. Here we go, though.
Zion Spartan flashes in. Yeah, Hemo Plate goes down, but there's no follow-up damage. That's where it really, really helps. And it looks like the lock-in's going to happen. There's the Quicksilver Sash! Alive to fight another day! That back onto Piglet. It's going to be a big fight here. Double lift to Piglet! Oh, they hit 1 for 1, but it's going to be the push hit from Zion Spartan as a new challenger approached. But that's a wipe. That's the ace for Team Liquid.
Yeah, that's looking like it here. Team Liquid 40-second death timer still on the majority of CLG. No AD carry, but everybody else, 2 inhibs down. Team Liquid looking to take the game.
Game 1. After being backs against the rope, it's what we said coming into this one. Liquid can make the right decisions. They hold off for what they need, and they found their way inside Counter Logic Gaming's base. We may still go to 5, but game 1 is very nicely going over to Team Liquid as they brought it back into their favor just 39 minutes into this game.
Wow, so Team Liquid on the back foot for the majority of the match, withstand the CLG early game barrage and take the team fight win in game 1. And Riv, I have to ask,
wow,
what happens next? We know that these teams are prone to nerves and tilting. Link did not have a good scoreline that game, 1-7-8. Double Lift said Pig